Hey everybody, the Lawn Gnome is here, and I'm finally glad to come back to you guys with a brand new Funko Pop update. I know that I waited a month, and I'm actually very glad now that I did, because in the month of May, there really wasn't as much news out there then than it is now. And also, to be honest with you, my figure collection was kind of stagnant, but there has been so much coming out over the past couple of weeks, so much to the fact that I'm actually going to be splitting this review into two. So that means I will have a pop update this month in June, and another one in July, because there's some awesome stuff coming now. Some that has actually been so hyped up, and so many fans were asking for, that Funko had to actually stop what they were doing just to put these lines together. All the things that I have mentioned in my previous pop videos have become a reality. Rights have been bought. They're on their way to you. They've already started being released, and there's so much more on the way this whole summer. But there's a lot of new stuff, a lot of great news, and I'm really excited to talk to you guys about them. And in the box below, you will see a couple of links. You will see a link to a great Facebook Funko fan page where you can get some updates as quickly as they come, as well as some great fan pictures posted of their collections, as well as some specific people that have done some excellent custom jobs. Hopefully Funko will take some ideas from them, but also there is a great Funko website on its own. It's called popvinyls.com. I'll put a link in the description below. And it's so great to see. You can even print out a checklist for yourself if you want to keep track of what you're buying and also know what else is out there. So, for now, today we're going to talk about mostly variants and specials, because there have been some excellent ones that have been discussed and that are on their way down. Some of them are already out, so we'll talk about those as well. But before I close out today's pop update, there will be an awesome teaser to talk to you guys about, and hopefully when July rolls around, I will have some pictures for you to display as well. So for now, before we go into the update, let's take a look at an update on how my collection has been going. So finally, I have an update for everybody, and these are in fact not mine. One of the few things that I love about Funko Pops is the fact that they make excellent gifts. And I have a special treat for you guys. I've got one of my loyal subscribers who also happens to be my sister's husband. It's Teddy Jets. You've probably seen on my comment boxes, so my good friend, say hello.
Hey everyone.
So we're looking at two that I actually got him for his birthday, and as you can see, they are from the movie Pulp Fiction, Vincent Vega and Jules, played respectively by John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson. And one of the few things that I'm sure that my guest here can vouch for is the details on these two figures are absolutely phenomenal. You take a look at each one of them, the suits are well sculpted all the way down to the gold belt buckles, and the details on the guns and even on the hair. You got Samuel L. Jackson with the crazy afro and sideburns, and you've got John Travolta's character with the earring on his ear, as well as his hairstyle. But the reason why Teddy Jets is here is because I had to ask a question. What is it about Pulp Fiction that makes this movie so great? Because you told me that this is your favorite movie of all time, so what makes it stand out beyond all the rest?
Well, that's a great question. A lot of people ask me that, and honestly, it is my favorite movie. It is a masterpiece. Everything about it screams perfection. With the acting, and each scene just shouts perfection, and it's just a masterpiece. It's just art.
Now, when I take a look at Quentin Tarantino as a whole, because I know that you're a huge Tarantino fan as well,
huge fan.
You take a look at some of his other great works, like Inglourious Basterds and The Kill Bills, all the way back to Reservoir Dogs, and even Django Unchained.
Great movie.
Still, why is its one better than the others? Because all of them are fantastic. Even Jackie Brown.
I love Uma Thurman.
Truer words were never spoken, and the best part is, it's the smallest amount of words that always do the trick. So, we'll move on to another one in just a second. Gifts. They are the greatest things in the world, and these are actually for my sister-in-law, of all people. Yes, these are good enough gifts for girls as they are for boys. And we've got two characters from her favorite show, which is Game of Thrones. Of course, I've got the Tyrion Lannister and Daenerys Targaryen, and once again, I've got Teddy Jets with me. Say hello once again, my good man.
Hello, everyone.
So, the reason why I got him here is because my sister-in-law is a very busy mom with my 1-year-old niece, who I absolutely adore, but I'm so glad that Teddy Jets is here because he just got into Game of Thrones. So much, in fact, that he practically marathons all the way to where we are now. Let me ask you a question, my friend.
What's up?
As a new fan of Game of Thrones, what is it about this show that so many people absolutely love, and why this pop line is so popular? They go hand in hand, pretty much.
Hands down the acting. I would have to say Tyrion is one of the greatest actors I've seen in television. And then Khaleesi, Daenerys Targaryen, her being a woman and just controlling every single thing and dominating everything that she does just shows me what a woman could really do. And Tyrion Lannister, in the past episode, where he was defending himself in court, really showed me that he was the most powerful man on the show.
I think one of the most impressive things about Peter Dinklage, who actually plays Tyrion, is the fact that a lot of people don't realize that he is not British.
He's not British.
He's originally from New Jersey, of all places.
That's true.
And Emilia Clarke, who plays Daenerys Targaryen, is a relatively new actress, and she's been doing a phenomenal job since she first took it upon herself to conquer and become the Khaleesi. What I absolutely love about the Game of Thrones line is it's so praised by so many people, and the details on these figures are, without a doubt, some of the best. Since these do not belong to me and the owner is not with me, I am not taking them out of the box, but the fact that you got Daenerys here with her dragon, and this actually comes in mystery colors, you can get one of the 3 dragons if you're not too careful. And I absolutely love the Tyrion Lannister figure. I love the fact that he is smaller than the others. I love the details on the rings on his wrist and all the way down to the designs on his vest. I have to say, it's such a huge collection, and it's growing now with 4 new characters, including Sansa and Peter Baelish, which I'm really excited for.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
And I just don't see myself collecting them because they are just so many, and each and every one of them is phenomenal, but you can always live your dreams through your friends and your family members, and that's why I'm glad that there is someone in my family who is going to be collecting these, and I'm glad to say that this is sort of a collection that we all share, along with the Pulp Fiction ones.
If I could interject for a second, the Tyrion Lannister we have here does not have the scar, I noticed.
Yes, that is correct. This is the very first one from the Game of Thrones set. There is another Tyrion with the battle scar. There is actually a very rare special one from Tyrion, which is him in this garb, but he actually has a newly created scar across his face. I believe it was from a Comic-Con or something. It's a very rare one to find. So that's pretty much most likely all you'll see from the Game of Thrones, unless my brother-in-law here wants another one for a holiday or another birthday present, because the best thing about these is these are not being retired. You can find mostly the newer ones, but if you are lucky and you go to a Barnes & Noble, you can find some of the old ones. But I know that my sister-in-law is very excited to be a proud owner of these 2 amazing characters from Game of Thrones.
Well, if I'm going to get a Game of Thrones one, I definitely want Khaleesi in the white dress.
There you go. Not even in the new one, the blue dress?
Oh, I'll take both.
I'm happy to say that my collection, on my own terms, has expanded as well. And this was a pop that I had mentioned that I was really excited to see be released because of the fact that it's based on a medium that is not really known to most of the true pop culture geekiness out there, and that, of course, is the world of sports. And this is one from the baseball mascot set. Of course, as a loyal Mets fan, I had to get this one, and it is Mr. Met. This is one of the most iconic sports figures in history. He was actually one of the main first mascots in the world of Major League Baseball, and I will say, for a medium that is not really known in the world of nerddom, this is pretty good. This is a fantastic pop. I love the detail on this figure itself. I love the fact that it really captures the essence of Mr. Met, all the way down to the nose, to the stitching on the baseball head, and of course the smile, and the eyebrows, and even the big Mets insignia on the hat. But what is really incredible about this is the fact that it's one of the most unique poses that I've ever seen in a pop. The fact that he's actually leaning on a bat, and he has his legs crossed. I just absolutely am impressed with the amount of detail that went into this pop. If you take a look a little bit closer, you've also got the Mets logo as well as his number 00. There's also a couple of details on the belt buckle and the pinstripes and the button-down shirt as well. And even on his sleeve over here, there is the second Mets logo. Although the one thing that I wasn't too thrilled about was the fact that they didn't put his name and the number on the back. They got some great details on the bat, on the foot. Now, I don't know if this is common with most of them, but mine can sometimes be a little hard to stand on its own weight, and it's probably because of the fact that the bat is structured a little bent, so it's not entirely straight, so he's not really able to put much of the force onto the bat to stand, but if you get him in the right position, he will stand just fine. And I also love the box, and this will most likely go for all the other baseball mascots, because you see you got the logo for Major League Baseball over here, but you also have an official sticker for Major League Baseball, which is what a lot of the major sports in America actually do put on their merchandise, so that's pretty cool. And on the back, you've also got the original Mr. Met logo from 1962 in his classic pose, as well as the logo of the baseball team that he represents. And of course, you got the rest of them down here. So it's also a very unique box. And I will say that I am very happy that they chose to go in this route. I'm always looking forward to more stuff in the world of sports. And as a Mets fan, this is one of the few that I am really proud of in my collection. And this is definitely something unique for Pop. And if you are a sports fan, I highly suggest that you look for these. They're probably a lot easier to find online than they are in retail, but this is a very worthy piece to my Pop collection. So as promised, today we're going to really talk about specials. There are some really great variants coming out, as well as some that I never would have expected. So if you are a fan of Comic-Con, you know that the Comic-Cons are usually big in the summer, and one of the most popular lines that has come out since the end of 2013 was the Supernatural collection. And it just so happens, I don't know which Comic-Con, or if it's going to be exclusive to a couple of Comic-Cons, but they are making a blood splatter of Sam and Dean. Now, I have a coworker who happens to own the original Sam and Dean, and she loves them dearly. I'm sure they're going to be pretty hard to come by if you don't go to Comic-Con. It's just a pretty cool thing to see, because these blood splatter things in various Pop lines seem to be pretty popular. Gemini Collectibles, that's a company that really caters to all of your Funko needs. And one of their exclusives that's coming out is an Invisible Predator. Predator has already come out in two various kinds. There's the regular, and there also is a blood splatter edition, but the fact that they're also giving him one of his signature things that he does in his movies, which is going invisible, that's a pretty awesome thing to see, especially if you're a Predator fan. Of course, I went crazy over the Guardians of the Galaxy line, as well as the movie, so Amazon is going to be making an exclusive of Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord, and it is going to be Star-Lord Unmasked. The original Star-Lord is pretty good. I really like the details on the mask, but also the fact that they're doing an unmasked version of him is appropriate, because he does spend a good portion of the movie without his mask on. Let's go to Hot Topic now. Hot Topic always likes to bring some specials, and they also like to do exclusive pre-releases, where they actually tease by putting out one of a line or a special from a line before you can find it everywhere. We have the 30th anniversary of Ghostbusters this year, and we all know that the Ghostbusters line has been released. I've actually seen some of these figures up close. All but the Pop Ride is out there right now for purchase, and the details on these are phenomenal. And the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man happens to be one of the popular ones, but Hot Topic has gone the extra mile. You can now get your Stay Puft Marshmallow Man toasty or extra crispy. And I think that that's a really cute thing to have, especially because I've seen the actual Stay Puft that is not toasty, and it is absolutely adorable. Another great Hot Topic exclusive is a glow-in-the-dark Lumiere, and I actually like the details on that, because based on what I have already seen, the difference in this one is the glow-in-the-dark comes from his flames, and they are glassy material that is see-through as opposed to the original one, so it basically gets the glow-in-the-dark capabilities. I think that that's a great thing to have, and if you are a Beauty and the Beast fan, I know that there are so many of you out there, I think that you would probably want to go after the glow-in-the-dark Lumiere instead of the regular Lumiere. Now, I know that you guys have heard me rant and rave about the classic 1960s Batman series Pops, which I happen to be a proud owner of, but of course waiting for more, and when I had mentioned that I had purchased them, I said that the line stopped after the Cesar Romero Joker, and unfortunately, I was wrong, because after that, you got Harley Quinn with a mallet, but you also got some other specials. The Blue Lantern Flash. Now, if you're a fan of the comics, you probably have read Blackest Night, and you probably remember Barry Allen becoming the Blue Lantern. I think that it's pretty impressive that they did this, especially because they also did a Batman Undead, in which Batman was possessed by the Black Lanterns. But this is also a Gemini collectible exclusive. It's also featured in metallic, and I know that Coltsandcubsfan, who I follow, I'll put a link to their channel below. They've also gone out of their way to get this pop, and the detail on it is pretty awesome. The 60th edition in the DC Heroes line, which is going to be an exclusive to Midtown Comics, which is a two-story comic store right in the heart of Manhattan, and they are making a special pop out of the Grant Morrison series Red Sun Superman. I also have heard that there are rumors of a Bruce Timm animated film in the DCU DVD Direct videos, so that would be an excellent one to see, and I'm really impressed that they're going out of their way to make a Red Sun Superman, because it looks absolutely awesome. There's a lot to talk about in the DC and Marvel universe as well. Some have been released now as specials, and some have not just yet, but there will definitely be some more Marvel and DC characters to speak about in July's Pop Update. And now for probably the one that I don't think anybody saw coming. I saw a big post on the Facebook page that I follow, Sharknado Pop, go back to what you were doing. Now, I didn't watch that movie, but I heard that this was like a cult sci-fi phenomenon. It's a movie that is just so terrible, it is awesome, and there's a Sharknado Pop coming. I have to admit that I really think that it is a good-looking pop. I think the details are absolutely awesome. But will I be getting this? No, thank you. I applaud the fact that they went down this direction, but I don't really see myself picking up a Sharknado pop. Even though I'm sure it will make tons of money for Funko. All of you Sharknado fans, just in time for Sharknado 2, enjoy your Sharknado pop. Now, for the last thing that I want to talk about in this pop update was there was definitely a fan outcry in regards to bringing these to them, and I think I mentioned one of them in one of my 10 for 12s. I will put a link to the box below if I can find it, but they made an announcement, Funko, that they are going to get right on these, and they are making two huge fan favorite lines. One of them has already been seen in glam shots. One was for a brief moment, but they officially do not have the rights yet, so they took it down. So I don't want to show any glam shots until I officially get confirmation. So, of course, I'm talking about the Breaking Bad and Frozen line. I mean, come on, did you not see this coming? They just want to give the fans what they want, and in the next update in July, I am hoping that there will be some glam shots for both of these lines, because one has already been revealed, but I don't want to do that until I have both. But you can go on to the sites that I have posted for you in the box below. The Breaking Bad line is already being displayed, and I am very excited, especially because I intend to start watching the show finally. The Frozen line I'm very excited for because I know that my girlfriend is a huge fan of Frozen. She has the DVD. We constantly joke around with Frozen's references. They are making a set of 5, and I am sure that Olaf is one of them, and I am very excited to see what Olaf is going to look like, because if he is what I'm expecting him to be, he will probably be added to my collection. So hopefully next month there will be some more stuff that I can show you on these two lines. So thank you very much for watching, guys. It was a brief update on the new stuff just because I wanted to really talk a lot more about my collection. So I'm hoping that you guys enjoyed this, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again in July. And I promise I will be back with another Funko Pop update because there's still a lot of new stuff to talk about. But I'm also hoping that I will also have some new pops to show you. And because of the fact that everything that I was expecting is finally coming out in retail, I'm going to start looking for a lot of pops to add to my collection. So thanks for watching, guys, and remember that actions speak louder than words.